Welcome, welcome, welcome to our uh, um, um, spiritual business broadcast podcast. My name is Felicia Cersei. I'm still new at this, so the information's great. I may be a little halting and putting it all together, and ignore the halt and embrace the brilliance that I bring you with these amazing people. Some of my favorite people who just happen to be brilliant, amazing people on the planet doing just powerful work. And I knew that in order to support you, yes, the message that I bring is important. And there's so many people out there with such powerful information, powerful messages to support you in really stepping into enhancing and growing your impact, the work that you're doing in the world, especially from the spiritual perspective. That this is about how to ground our work and our businesses and our impact in spiritual principle. And so I'm thrilled that you are here, and I am just thrilled to be able to bring you the guests that I have today. Camille, I didn't, Leon. How do you pronounce your last name, Camille? I should have asked you
Oh,
before.
it's okay. So,
She's just
Camille
one of those
Leon,
one single name persons, like
pretty
Cher.
pretty much, yes. Just call me Camille. But if you say it all together, chameleon,
Chameleon.
you might have For me, a chameleon is all about transformation.
Okay, well, I was going to say you're not a true chameleon, but I do get what you're saying, and you definitely don't blend in, and you are all about transformation.
Right.
So, so,
Yeah.
all
No,
right.
I
Well,
don't.
let me read her official bio, and then we'll jump into this. So, Chameleon is the founder and chief visionary officer of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, an online international organization increasing awareness, education, and access to holistic products, services, and therapies, and serving the business needs of holistically aligned providers, professionals, and business owners. Through the HCC, Holistic Chamber of Commerce, she helps consumers, people like you and me, find holistic products, services, and solutions for health, lifestyle, and business related concerns. Now, think about that. Think about the power. What kind of person thinks about that? Well, Camille thought about that, for which we are deeply grateful, because there's so much out there. How do you sift through it and vet and know the people that truly know what they're doing and just didn't hang a shingle out there? Camille is also the author of Fresh Starts, Transformation in Action, and an artist inspiring the world through her paintings. All right. So, welcome, Camille. So, let me ask you, so we're talking about this word holistic, right? That's your life is dedicated to really supporting people in a holistic way. And that word gets thrown out and thrown around a lot. What is it that you mean by holistic?
Some of you are going to hate me because I don't really define it. I find that one of the hallmarks of holistic is allowing people to define it for themselves.
Mm.
And there's a spectrum. I mean, for some people, just starting to be curious about what does it mean to be holistic is, that's like dipping your toe in the water, right? Taking your first step on the path. And for others, it's all about their diet and their nutrition choices, what they do and don't eat. For some, it is all about their faith and their faith community, that spiritual connection. Some, it's all about their yoga practice and their physical body exercise. I actually say mind, body, spirit, business, budget, planet.
That's great.
Well, if I don't have enough money in the bank, I can't afford to shop at a place called Whole Paycheck. I mean, Whole Foods. Right. So, holistic, what is holistic to you? That's where we start.
Well, so let me ask you this. What would you say holistic is not? What would not fall under that category? That when, people start talking about holistic, because I would imagine, and when I know from you, Camille, right, that you vet, right, that you want to make sure that the people that you bring into the holistic chamber represent a certain standard. So what is it that you are
Yes,
careful to define it not as?
but we are also open to people who are just getting started. So when I talk about holistic, I really don't want people to be screening themselves out.
Yeah,
I want them to
good.
be screening themselves in. But for example, I spend my extra money on health and wellness care, like massages and chiropractic and acupuncture and essential oils and herbal remedies. Okay. So, that's one direction that it goes. Uh, I would say if you are eating at fast food restaurants every day, then maybe this is not a good fit for you where you are now, but we're happy to have you come in and learn about healthier ways of eating and healthier places to, get your food fix,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you will. Um, and I still, I have a little bit of a coffee habit, and we'll just call it my happy coffee habit. And I don't judge myself for, well, sometimes I do. You know, those fancy coffees are not cheap, right? But they're so good.
They are. They
And
are.
I do think so. I think joy is part of a holistic approach to life.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful, Camille. I love it. And
so,
this
does
whole
that help?
it did. It did. Yeah. And and I think people can, kind of filter through that there are some things out there that they're saying they're holistic, but they're really not, right? And the thing that, whether you're aware of it, I think you're just an unconscious competent when it comes to this, that the people that I've met in the holistic chamber are deeply, whether they're just beginning, they're long-term business owners, but they're authentic and they're deeply committed. There's no gimmick, there's no fast fix, that it truly is a holistic approach. So and I, and this whole conversation is based in spiritual principle. And so what I love about that and what you include is, the totality of our beingness, right? Body, mind, spirit, and then I think you said business, money, budget,
Budget. Yep.
plan. So, all right. Well, let me ask you this. So, why the Holistic Chamber of Commerce? I mean, there's lots of Chamber of Commerces that people can join. Like
Yes.
I'm looking into the Tucson Chamber of Commerce. Why a holistic chamber? Why did the world need this?
So, first, we love conventional chambers of commerce, but they are different than who we are and what we are doing. The world needed this because a lot of consumers out there view a chamber of commerce as a place you go to find what you are looking for. So, for example, if you live in Tucson, you would go to the Tucson Chamber of Commerce to find a community minded business person, whether that's a bank or an attorney or a shoe salesman, right? They do tend to be more oriented towards conventional professionals and businesses. We specialize in holistic and, as I say, holistically aligned professionals, service providers, business owners. So we do represent a lot of chiropractors, acupuncturists, hypnotherapists, the health and wellness providers, the lifestyle and self-care providers that you would expect. We also represent holistically aligned business support professionals, right? A lot of the work that you do, Felicia, is helping people build their businesses. We have some, I still call them webmasters, but I think the official term these days is like website designers and social media experts. We have some members who are accountants and bookkeepers, because when you're being successful in your health and wellness business, you really want to find that business support from somebody who gets you, who understands your perspective. So the Chamber of Commerce originally started as a resource for consumers who were looking for holistic and natural health care. And we have also expanded to become a resource for those holistic providers who are looking for like-minded business support.
Well, and what I love about this, and this is what we were talking about this before you came on, is that, many people who are members of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, you're right. There's it's a particular lifestyle choice, right? And in conventional thinking, sometimes it can be considered as an alternative, like acupuncture or massage, or
Right.
even hypnotherapy or chiropractor. What you shared, and what I love about what you do. There's two things, Camille. Number one, you legitimize those businesses. When the organization that you have created helps these people that are called into these kinds of businesses really own the legitimacy and the value. Then, as you include accountants, CPAs, and some of the, fractional COOs or web designers, or they come in because they have that holistic heart, right?
Yeah.
That there's I think Diana Morgan is a member. She has holistic, whole heart marketing, that she does marketing, and she does it from a very intentional place of the heart, right? And this is what you not just promote, but you foster and cultivate. And it's a very different relationship that, you're promoting, but there's you foster people, you cultivate that in people, you hold a container where people can step into it as a container of belief in themselves.
So thank you, by the way. I love hearing that is how we are showing up in the world.
Yeah.
I think that also draws attention to one of the other elements of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce that sets us apart. That is why we needed to be here, which is a lot of other networking organizations, conventional chambers of commerce, but also other networking organizations are really, they're a good fit for extroverts.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our people are at least a little bit introverted. Frankly, most people wouldn't know it, because when I'm out in public, I can push that little extrovert button and go, right? But when it comes down to, the heart of it, I can be pretty introverted. Give me a good book and a nice comfy chair, and I'm going to curl up instead of going out, right? And
that's so an interesting concept. It never occurred to me that.
Yeah. So we have set things up to really focus on that aspect of a lot of our members and give them a safe space to really talk about their truth, recognizing that we are still a public organization. So if you really want to have a meltdown or a breakdown, please do it in private with your coach or your own therapist, right? But there are some things that happen either in our online meetings or at our local group in-person meetings that are really kind of with an understanding of that we probably have a higher percentage of introverts than your average group. So
Interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting phenomenon. You know, I'm a minister by trade. That's well. First, I was speech
okay.
therapist,
Yes.
teacher, then minister. Right, I was a minister
Right.
for 15 years, and I didn't know this when I got in, but 80% of ministers are introverts. Now, I don't have an introverted bone in my body. You know, I I love hanging out with people. I mean, it's what feeds me. But that makes sense, right? That when you are in, you know, because when you think about holistic, that there's a element of self-discovery in that, right? You know,
Yeah.
whether it's self-discovery about what feeds your body, or self-discovery about movement, or that you're not just going to somebody and looking for a prescription and saying, okay, fix me. That there really is a like a partnership in a holistic relationship. And so that makes sense that it would then overall attract people who are more, I mean, I'm very introspective. I'm just
Yeah.
not an introvert. um, and people that are more introspective, people who are more on that discovery path, which can lend itself to more of an introverted state. So interesting combination. So,
Yeah.
and it's okay if you're an extrovert; you can still be introspective and holistically.
Yes, you can. There's room for both,
Yes. Yeah.
both introverted and extroverted. Or I really like that introspective, right?
Yeah.
That's a really good way, I think, to explain it. And you can be both.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm both, right? There are days and times when I am, here at home, and other times when I am out with a group or even leading a group, and I can get replenished there as well. So, yay.
That's great, Camille. All right. So, what are your favorite therapies or products? What are the things that really that
Ooh.
you seek out and
So, massage is probably, I get a massage very often, not consistently,
that's
but
so great.
that's like my go-to. Um, I really like acupuncture as well, and will go to an acupuncturist if I'm dealing with something specific very often. Um, I've used hypnotherapy a great deal,
You have.
and
Okay.
I do. I like it as an approach for getting out of my head, getting out of
Yeah.
my default, right? So I think if I were to narrow it down to my top three, those would be, oh, but I have more essential oils hanging around the house than, a little bit of this, there's a little bit of that, so those are probably my go-tos. I do drink tea, by the way, for as much as I love my fancy schmancy coffees. I drink tea as well. So equal opportunity in that arena.
And beverage and
Yes,
equal
yes.
opportunity in beverages.
I also drink some grain-based and grape-based beverages.
Oh, interesting. Oh.
Good. There we go. Good pickup. Yes.
I'm
We're
pretty much a
testing you.
water girl.
Oh, I have, yes.
Yeah.
So in the early, actually pre HCC, before this was even a seed in my brain, much less taking over my whole life, I was a soda drinker. And it was plenty. Like I drank soda. That was my go-to drink.
Well, what I love is that you entered into this, and it sounds like you've transformed that.
Yeah. So I have a question. Here's a good question
Okay.
for you and anybody who's listening.
So listen up, because here comes a question for you.
I want to do a post about this soon, but here's the question: are you a jump all in all at once, cold turkey, or wean yourself off of something and into something else? So I had to wean myself off of it. It was a Coke habit, boys and girls.
Yeah.
The real thing, all that caffeine, all that sugar, all that Coca-Cola aftertaste. Anyways, I had to wean myself off of that and then start bringing in the water.
Yeah. Yeah. How long ago was that?
20 or 25 years. Yeah, it's been a few years, but I think I was probably in my 30s when yeah. So I think I was probably in my 30s when I just kind of did that weaning myself off. It was, what I realized was it was a lot of sugar, and I do still have a sweet tooth, and I do still allow myself to eat real sugar.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
In moderation.
Yeah.
In moderation.
I do.
Fancy schmancy coffee. There's real sugar in that stuff. Promise.
I'll do alternative sweetener and to give myself that gift. So, all right. So as we're bringing this in for a landing, because I want to make sure that you share how people can continue this conversation with you. As this is the Spiritual Success Podcast, right? We're talking about building our work, our impact, our businesses based in spiritual principle. Yeah. What does spiritual success mean to you, Camille?
So I think it really comes down to being connected.
And what do you mean by connected?
So 3 ways. Connected to the earth, grounded.
Okay.
Connected to my higher power.
Yeah.
Right. So I need to be grounded because I'm also living in the sun, the moon, and the stars. And then connected to each other. Connected to you.
Yeah.
Holding my hands. We're holding hands. Right. Grounded, connected to the ground and to the earth. Connected to our higher powers. And connected to each other. And that keeps me connected.
Yeah.
As a whole person.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Maybe connected to my body as well, I guess I should also, right? There's an internal connection, but the other 3 help with that internal connection.
That it just brings us back to the word of holistic. It's a holistic connection. So beautiful. All right. So where can people find you? What goodness do you have to offer people?
So holisticchamberofcommerce.com. Yes, it is the longest domain name in the world, but when you're there, you'll know you're there. holisticchamberofcommerce.com. I am on LinkedIn, Camille Leon. We also have a LinkedIn page, so you can also look up Holistic Chamber of Commerce there. And on Facebook, you can also find me as Camille Leon and Holistic Chamber of Commerce. Of course, we've got other socials as well. But really, I would say go to our website, holisticchamberofcommerce.com. You'll find links to everything else, or look us up, and if you really want, don't add me to your email list, but you can email me hello, HELLO, hello at holisticchamberofcommerce.com. And you've got a good shot that I will answer.
So lots of places to find you, and you've got a health and wellness guide.
I do. Oh, do you have the link for that?
I do. What we'll do is we'll put them in the show notes.
Yes. Okay. So we do have a health and wellness guide, especially good for people who are just starting their journey, just stepping on. But no matter where you are in that journey to becoming more holistic, it's always good to have there's that thing I've been meaning to get to do that. So yes, let's put that definitely in the show notes.
Yeah, absolutely, Camille. It is such a joy. You are such a joy. It's just so great to have you, and you just such a great brilliance, and to to help you really ground, to support you in really beginning to think, what is it to live a holistic life? What does holistic mean to me? Where are those areas that I can lean in and really wrap my arms around this holistic experience? One of the things that I do when we work together is create a full spectrum life, that we work with vision in all four areas of your health, your relationships, your vocation, and your freedom with your money and your time. And so, that holistic experience. So please check Camille out. And if you want more of unlocking the power of a spiritual success system, paint by number spiritual success system, join us in my Facebook group, Ultimate Life Now. I'll put that information in the show notes as well. Or you put a guide in the comment section, or group in the comment section, and I will make sure, as this is on live on social media, we'll make sure that we'll get that information to you. So, Camille, you are amazing. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll get this information to you. And thank you for watching, whether you're watching live or the replay, and just know that you are amazing. Mwah! God bless.